Yo, what's going on, everybody? This your boy Taz, back with you with another Diablo Immortal video. So now, on this video, I'm gonna give you all the recipe to my new PvP build. This would be the new meta for Demon Hunters in PvP as of right now, after the last update that we have received. So let's get to it. First off, let me switch to the build first. So the build I was in already is a spread shot build. So if you have not already tried that PvE build, I will leave a link in the description. So for this video, we doing spread shot PvP. It's the name, SSPVP. That is spread shot PvP. And we're gonna activate this bad boy. And I'm gonna give you all the sauce. Alright. First off, we're gonna go over my set items. This particular build, yours might be a little bit different. This is what has been working for me as just pretty much a demon hunter altogether for PvP and PvE. So I went with this time a 4-piece Grace of the Flagellant, a 4-piece, and I have a 2-piece Vithus Urges, and I have a 2-piece of Seeds of Songs Gold. That has been working out for me so far. Gave me a little extra damage, and we're gonna go over these items. So the Grace said all continual damage, channel damage, and persistent ground damage increased by 15%. So if you was wearing the 2-piece, you would have got that part. But since I'm wearing a 4-piece, I get that and this one right here. Each time you damage an individual 5 times, you would do 20,946 additional damage to that enemy. So as you know, demon hunters are pretty big on single target or single enemy damage. Very good. So I'm rocking the 4-piece of Grace. Then I have a 2-piece Vithus Urges. I used to run the 4-piece Vithus Urges, but I wanted to go a little bit more offensive, and on top of that, my build already does some pretty good attack speed when it comes to damage. So I didn't necessarily need the attack speed by 30% for 3 seconds, really, not anymore, because I have some decent attack speed on my build. But you can always do 4-piece Vithus. That works on any build, any class. But I went with a 2-piece, and I went with a 2-piece this time because I wanted to do a 2-piece of Seeds of Songs Gold. Continually channeling and skill against the same enemy gradually increase the damage of that skill up to a maximum of 30%. And if you go right here to skills, you can tell Strafe right here is a channel skill. It's a damage skill and a channel skill. That's why it works perfectly for the demon hunter. Okay, now we got that out the way. So again, as another recap for the green set items, we doing a 4-piece Grace, we doing a 2-piece Vithus, and we're doing a 2-piece Seeds of Songs Gold. All right, we got that out the way. Let's do the essences I'm using. We working with Eyes Ablaze, Sinful Vigor, Hellfire, and this new essences we have for the Demon Hunter depends. Chaps of the Acrobat, Fang Spitter, Pain Sower, Unrelenting Fury, and Hell's Binder. Okay? For the skills, make sure you have Strafe, Vengeance, Multi-Shot, and Escape. So this is my PvP build. All right. So what else I have to go through? All right, let me go to my warband. I'm using Protector as my role selection. Increase block chance by 5%. Right here, under Protector, if you unlock this already, this is why I always recommend Protector. Increase your life by 6.5% and your size by 15%. So the bigger you are, the faster you are. That's how it just works in this game. Okay? So we always go with Protector. So I get an increased block chance. I get all these remnant bonuses. And make sure you have this Shepherd's Burden. Okay? I'm gonna break down. I gotta break down these essences, man. So as you see, we running just like the spread shot build. We using Eyes Ablaze. We're gonna scroll down. Multi-shot causes an explosion when hitting burning enemies, dealing 18,852 additional damage. Damage increased by 90%. Multi-shot damage increased by 10%. So for the skills, this is your multi-shot skill we're going to be using for the head. Sinful Vigor is a must because this is a strafe build. So Sinful, I just skipped it. There you go. Primary attacks restore 1.5% of Strafe's energy. Strafe energy consumption reduced by 3.6%. Strafe damage increased by 10%. Hellfire. Multi-shot also launches 2 homing rockets, each dealing 6,903 damage. Damage increased by 90%. Multi-shot cooldown decreased by 10%. And now we have the chaps of the Acrobat. Very good in PvP. They pretty much made these pants only for PvP, and I'm gonna show you why. Escape can now be used while suffering from total loss of control and knockback effects, making you immune to these effects for 0.5 seconds. Escape cooldown reduced by 3.6%. Yeah, escape cooldown reduced by 3.6%. Escape cooldown decreased by 10%. Fang Spitter, I know a lot of us know this one well. Multi-shot Now empowers your primary attacks to fire multi-shots for a short time. Multi-shot damage increased by 18%. Multi-shot damage increased by 10%. And then we have Pain Sword. Where is it? Okay. Strafe now fires your primary attack focus at the nearest enemy. Strafe damage increased by 18%. Strafe cooldown decreased by 10%. So we have that. Unrelenting Fury. Where is it? Here we go. Strafe duration increased by 39%. Strafe damage increased by 10%. And last but not least, Hellbinder. Explosive arrow now also cause enemies to burn for 9,556 damage over 2 seconds. Damage increased by 90%. Explosive shot damage increased by 10%. These are the essences we are working with for this PvP build. Okay. Next, Paragon. This is the secrets of a lot of people, because this is a more of an offensive build. The pains were added to this build because you all know in Battleground, the first thing the enemy tries to do is to CC you, crowd control. So you might get frozen or freezed up in the kind of way. The pains is as soon as you get CC'd, you're going to use escape, and you're going to automatically be immune, and you're going to be able to get out the CC. Go ahead and activate your vengeance and use strafe. So for this setup, and this works wonders. If you want to check out the Battleground video I ran this exact build, and I did pretty good. It just 2 of those matches my team sucked. But the last match, I'm gonna show you all the sauce. The last match, it was great. So we're gonna go with battle morale. Each enemy player killed within 15 yards by one of your party members. Increase your damage by 3% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. Next, cheat death. Fatal attacks from players instead reduce you to 1 life while making you immune to damage and stunning you for 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, you recover to 60% life. Cannot occur more often than once every 210 seconds. So you might get about 3 uses out of this, depending on how long the Battleground match is. But it's a very good skill. Then you have Grizzled Veteran. When fighting a player, you deal 4% more damage and take 4% less damage. So that's good on the offensive end and the defensive end. You're gonna do 4% more damage. You're gonna take 4% less damage. Then we have Swift Strikes. For every player you defeat, your attack speed increased by 3%, stacking up to 5 times. All stacks are clear when you are defeated. So as soon as you die, you lose that buff. Once you get your first kill, you get 3% attack speed, stacking up to 5 times. Okay? To the victor. When you defeat a player, your Grizzle Veteran bonus increased to 12% for 10 seconds. The effect does not stack, but will refresh if another player is defeated. So keep in mind, the Grizzle Veteran, when you find a player, you deal 4% more damage and take 4% less damage. This one increase your bonus increased to 12% for 10 seconds. You know how many kills you can get for 10 seconds? That's why on this build, if you play the Demon Hunter correctly, you stay far away, you do your strafe, you hit them with the rockets and with the strafe. Once you get that first kill, you get a bonus. And then if you keep getting 2 and 3 kills back to back, you get these bonuses. The bonuses goes away when you die. Okay? So I had to let you all know. So that's why in my video when I was in Battlegrounds, once you start seeing me defeat 1 enemy and 2 enemies, this is the breakdown for that. I was getting these perks, these buffs stacked on my Demon Hunter. So when these stack up, you're able to easily kill your enemy. So now we have covered. We cover the set items. We cover these essences. And keep in mind, I still want you all to have fortitude and willpower on all of your gear. Okay, you see that? Fortitude, willpower. Fortitude, willpower. Fortitude, willpower. Fortitude, willpower. And more fortitude, willpower. Keep that in mind. You want to stay strong? Fortitude, willpower. I'm now playing on Inferno 7, so all of my gear is Inferno 7 now. I got rid of all the Inferno 6 gear. Like again, fortitude, willpower on everything. That's what I need you all to do. Keep that in mind as you go up your Paragons and you move on to the next difficulty. Fortitude, willpower, everything. You might get fortitude, willpower, strength, which is great. Sometimes the game throw you fortitude, willpower, and vitality. Okay. Next, last thing before I forget, you have to have these cursed properties set up right. 6-piece nettle, 2-piece wired. Okay. Nettle, 6-piece. After you gain the shield for the next 6 seconds, every time you are hit, you will counterattack, dealing 40% of your damage to all nearby enemies. Additionally, damage dealt to enemies hit by the counterattack is increased by 16%. Cannot occur more often than once every 30 seconds, which is not bad, especially in Battleground. Every 30 seconds, you're going to get this shield. When the enemies start attacking you, they take damage as well. Wired, 2-piece. After you kill an enemy, release a surge of lightning that jumps 6 times between nearby enemies and deals 60% of your damage to them. Effects cannot occur more often than once every 30 seconds. So the cooldown is not too bad. You got nettle cooldown every 30 seconds. You have the wire cooldown every 30 seconds. Okay. And my legendary gem setup.
Oh, hello. Combining.
We got Colossal Engine, rank 5. Or 4 out of 5 Colossal Engine at rank 5. I have a rank 4 Seeping Bow, but I'm using Gloomcast as the auxiliary. So it's really, you might as well say a rank 4 Gloomcast. 4 out of 5. We have Fervent Fang at rank 10, but I'm using the Crimson Behelit as auxiliary. So that way, once the enemy knock your health down to 50%, it will grant you mercy. And let's read this right quick. Your Behelit activates in response to your overwhelming desire, granting you the Behelit power you seek the most. Above 50% life, dealing damage grants you Behelit Wrath. Increase your damage done by 10% for 6 seconds. When you fall below 50% life, you gain Behelit Mercy. Reduce the damage you take by 10% for 6 seconds. Each Behelit power has its own separate cooldown. Behelit Wrath has a 20-second cooldown, and Behelit Mercy has a 60-second cooldown. Increase the chance to find magic items by blah blah blah. Yeah, we don't want to. That don't really matter right now. Okay. Rank 5, 4 out of 5, Wolf Heart. A rank 6, Blood Soaked Jade, 4 out of 5. A 4 out of 5, rank 5, Bard of Hope. A rank 6, 5 out of 5, Roiling Consequence. And the last one, I was originally using Starfire Shard, rank 6, 4 out of 5, but I'm using Blood Flow as the auxiliary. Your critical hits cause you to enter a blood rage for 6 seconds, increasing your damage done by 9%, and your critical hit damage by 18%. When blood rage is active, your critical hits also rend flesh, causing enemies to bleed for additional 10% base damage every second for 3 seconds. Blood Rage cannot trigger more often than once every 20 seconds, and Rend Flesh cannot trigger on the same enemy more often than once every 1 second. And there you have it, guys. We have damage in this build. We have a little bit of survivability with the cheat death and with the Crimson Behelit. So you got a little bit of survivability in there. And most definitely,
Nothing else I can help you with?
we have, where is it? We have the Chaps of the Acrobat. This pants is a must use in PvP. Okay? And let me go over one more thing before I go. I have pretty much all my gems even out. I have 3 rubies in this build. I'm using 4 sapphires and 4 aquamarines. I have 3 topazes in this build, and also I'm using 3 centrines. All of my gems are rank 7, except for this aquamarine, which I'm currently working on. Once I get all of my regular normal gems to rank 7, I will be better off. Okay, let's check out the stats.
Well, please come again.
My damage is at 34,861. Comeback rating 50,717. Again, my armor 4611. Armor penetration 4843, potency 4497, resistance 4497. I have pretty much, as far as my normal gems and my Horadrim, completely even now. And I'm glad I just said that. Let's go to that right quick. Cause if you're gonna make this build, I'm ready for you to make it as close as mine as possible. You can always put your own twist on your build. That's completely up to you. But I want to make sure I get all of this information out to you guys. See, Legacy of the Horadrim. As you see, I have this one. Everything on the left side is at level 30. We're gonna go straight down. So got this red stone, the yellow one, the light blue one, just like a dark purple, kind of blackish. Everything on the left side is at level 30. Then I have this one in the bottom, in the middle, level 12. This one, level 30. This one, level 9. This is level 30. And this one at level 10. This right here is your armor penetration and armor. So you see, because I have this at level 30, I get 270 armor penetration and 270 armor. This is my resistance. I'm getting 540 resistance on level 30. Right here, potency, I'm getting 540 at level 30. And this one, we get 270 potency and 270 resistance. So this is potency and resistance together. You'll get a attribute boost if you want to boost both of them. If you want to do them individually, this is potency, this is resistance. And right here, this is straight armor. This is armor penetration with armor. This is just armor. I'm getting 540 for armor. And this one is armor penetration by itself. I'm getting 540. This one, armor penetration and armor. And that is my legacy of the Paragon. The cat I'm using, the same old dust prowler. I have not tried to roll for a savior just yet. I have to get some more conversion stones, and I have to buy myself 2 more dust prowlers so I can convert this cat. So that's what I'm working on right now. Right now I have this bad boy right here. I had rolled for this like a couple of weeks ago, and I like it. If your life is above 75%, you receive a 2.25% damage increase. If your life drops below 50%, you gain a 4.5% defense increase for 4 seconds. This effect is increased by 100% for each additional familiar applied status effect, up to a maximum of 200%. And these other moves that on precision is pretty good. Chain reaction is okay. And vigor bloom is okay. So what I'm working on is trying to get savior on this cat. And here is my fine vengeful grand charm. 2% damage on vengeance, dare swing plus 4%, shadow sight plus 2%, strike plus 2%, explosive arrow plus 2%. I'm using multi-shot, but before I was using multi-shot, when I use my supersonic build, this is the right charm. So this is the only charm I have been using. On debating if I should try to get multi-shot on this charm, but that's up for debate. And my ruins, I have 2 oaks for the headpiece and the shoulder piece. I have 2 oaks, and I have 2 left for both of the main hand items. 2 left. What oak do is right here. Base attribute of equipment item increased by 8%. Damage taken while moving decreased by 3%. Attack speed increased by 2%. Skill cooldowns reduced by 4%. That's what oaths do. And left, base attribute of equipment item increased by 8%. Damage increase 4% to enemies below 30% life. And your primary attacks have a 6% chance to reduce enemy attack and movement speed by 20% for 3 seconds. This is a big one. Critical hit damage increased by 6%. I'm rocking with 2 of these on the build. Well, in all of my builds. So that's left. Right here, I am using 2 Zur. Base attribute of equipment item increased by 8%. Damage to elites increased by 4%. Damage to full life enemies increased by 5%. And another big factor, critical hit chance increased by 4%. I'm using 2 of them. Okay? 2 levs, 2 Zurs, and 2 oats. And this one, for my pants, we use the Den. Base attribute of equipment item increased by 9%. Damage taken while suffering loss of control decreased by 4%. Endure, heal for 1.2% of your maximum life every second while out of combat. And endure, 10% of overhealing is converted into a shield up to 20% of your maximum life. They have some gear in this game that have this endure, this overhealing. It can be stacked up to 4 times. Very good skill. So I think that's covered everything. We covered the pet, the charm, the set items, the gear, the legendary gems, the normal gems. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting this one. This ruin. 5. Damage taken while suffering loss of control decreased by 4%. Base attributes of equipment item increased by 8%. Block chance decreased by 2%. Restrain, loss of control duration on affected enemies are increased by 16% while you critically hit them. We got the pet, we have the set items, we have the gear, we have the ruins, we have the skills. Explosive arrow, escape, multi-shot, vengeance, strafe. And we have the Paragon. Oh, I showed the, I didn't tell you all that. Right here, I'm glad if you watch the whole video, make sure you get all of this. Legendary Paragon skills. We are rolling with this release. So we rocking Gladiator, Battle Morale, Grizzle Veteran, Swift Strikes, To the Victor, and Cheat Death. Legendary skills for Paragon, this release. I hope this video helps you all. Good luck in Battlegrounds. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.